Hey, good morning, everybody. Just wanted to share another quick weekly update. Number one, thank you to everybody who came to the happy hour social last night. It was a lot of fun, good conversations. We'll be running that every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. For those who tried to use the link in the original email, I apologize for the error in the link. We fixed it in the Slack reminders. The reminders that go out in the future will have the correct link, and the correct link is below this video. Please feel free to use that link. I apologize for the technical glitch. I'd also like to thank those who have been providing feedback. In particular, I'd like to thank Kyle Moore from 2020-4, who spent so much time earlier this week sharing with me some of the detailed notes he had on areas where Uvaro was excelling and some of the areas where we could improve the classroom experience. I want to remind everybody that we take that feedback very seriously. We consider feedback a gift. And so if you ever have any ideas on ways that we can improve, please let us know. What I also commit to is sharing a little bit more about where we're making changes, experimenting, iterating, so that everybody has a better idea of how we build and produce our curriculums and where we can improve and apply feedback. The last thing that I wanted to highlight was an interesting conversation that I recently had about empathy in selling. Now, we spend already a lot of time talking about how outbound messaging is impacted by COVID-19, stay at home, shelter in place orders, and how do we make sure we don't come across like a drive-by sale or to being tone deaf. And of course, there are different times a year when we can leverage messaging and think about what people are experiencing. Are they home at family at Thanksgiving? During New Year's, is there a celebration? As we're getting back to school, how does that impact their kids? We're actually just starting one of those periods of time that has some nuances that people don't always think about when they're selling. So I wanted to touch base on that shortly. Uh, Ramadan is starting today. Now, this is going to last about 29, 30 days, depending on the individual. And this is a deeply spiritual time where practicing Muslims will be fasting, normally spend time with their communities, and of course, the stay at home orders add some interesting complexity and difficulties to that. This is often a physically taxing time because the fasting is a big challenge. Now, this isn't a video digging into the details. If you want to learn more about Ramadan, I encourage you to use Google. Of course, you can ask a colleague or a friend respectfully. But as a sales professional, there are a couple of specific things that are good to keep in mind to be respectful and to be empathetic. Number one, because fasting can be fatiguing over the course of the day, it's best to book your meetings in the first half of the day. When people have that energy, the attention, the availability. Second, because of the complexity of prayers and fasting and community events, schedules can be highly disruptive. So understanding that schedules will change, meetings might be more variable, especially as you're trying to book sales or follow-up meetings. This is an important one. The last thing is that we will have people on our video calls, whether we're selling or in class, who are actively fasting. So if we're eating and drinking during that period of time, it's more respectful to avoid any over the top demonstrations of enjoyment because they are fasting and not able to enjoy at the same time. So, again, some details on how, as sales professionals, we can exercise empathy in small and subtle ways that can be impactful. Uh, Looking forward to sharing more updates in subsequent weeks. Again, if you have any feedback or if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in an update, let me know. Hope you have a fantastic weekend and we'll chat soon. Ciao.